Okay, so it looks like we are live. We are live. We are live. Hey, y'all. Hey. It is Vanette, and I have a very, very special guest with us today for this Thursday Thoughts. We have Lekeisa Arrington with us, and we're going
Yes.
to get into it. But to start off, everybody, we really want to start off our Thursday Thoughts, as always, saying what we are thankful for. And today, let me tell y'all, I am so thankful for my children. Like
Mm.
they're all grown. My oldest is 35, my middle is 25, and then the baby is 23. So when I tell y'all, I'm just thankful because there is a story behind it, baby. Listen, each time I had a son, I dreamt it was going to be a girl. I was like, okay, so I was young when I had the first one. And when I had my first pregnant with my first son, it was like all the moms, y'all know how it is when you had that first baby, how you just glowing and you like so excited. And I'm dreaming like in my dreams, it was a beautiful baby girl and I'm dressing her up. Man, they did that ultrasound and was like, we see the little boy parts. I was like, Lord, Lord. So then I waited 10 years, had my
Mm.
second son, waited 10 years. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I had my first one, I was young, I was 20. I said, okay, wait 10 years. Had my second son, and I was like, okay, this one got to be the girl. Everybody I knew was having girl, boy, girl, boy. So, nope. Ultrasound, what was it again? Some more man parts. I was like, oh my God. So I said, well, I waited too long between the first one and the second one. I was like 3 times a charmer. I said, come on, Lord, won't he do it? He did it. The Lord did it, but he did what he wanted me to have because that third one was a baby boy too. I said, well, the Lord has spoken, hasn't he? He was like, you're a boy, mom. And I'm like, I received that because we're not having any more.
Mhm.
Any
Mhm.
more.
Mhm.
So I just thank God for my children and my sons because they're all unique. They all have very special, and I do say special personalities, but I love them all. And they are my babies. So that's what I'm thankful for. What are you thankful for this evening?
First of all, that story sounds amazing. I love it. Listen, God knew that you needed boys. That's all I'm saying. He knew that you needed boys, okay? Because girls are very unique. Yeah, girls are very unique. He knew exactly what you needed in your life. Um, I am actually grateful for my entire family. And I say that because between my husband, my mom, and my children, they really are my cheerleaders. They are my support system. My youngest is 12. My oldest is 31 years old. Okay. Yeah, we started all over, but that's a whole nother conversation. Nevertheless, the 12-year-old is always cheering me on, no matter where we go, no matter what we do. She's always promoting what I do. Like it's so interesting. People start talking to me and they're like, "Oh, you like that? Well, let me tell you a little bit about her." I'm like, "Girl, stop!" Or if I'm wearing something, "Oh, did you like that?" Oh, she makes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I love that about her. I love the fact that my husband, no matter what I need in business, no matter where I need to go, he's always my, I want to say Uber driver, because if we need to go to Atlanta, he's there. If we need to, I don't care where we need to go, he's always making sure that I get to where I need to get to. And if I ever need anything, he's always there. When it comes to my mom, oh my gosh, my mom is truly a cheerleader. Like she is one of those ride and live type moms. She's everywhere all the time. It doesn't matter. She's always there. The next in line is my 14-year-old, and she is my tech girl. So whatever I need in technology, instantly she knows, like, Mom, I got it, no matter what is going on. So I truly, 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 truly am grateful for my family because they are my support system.
Aw, that is wonderful. Well, let's see who we got checking in. So from Instagram, we have the lady of the house. We have Future Stars checking in. We have Felicia. Hey, Felicia, checking in. So in the comments, y'all, put down whatever you're thankful for. There's so much to be thankful for. Oftentimes, I think we get bogged down because it's so easy to talk about what you're not thankful for. It's so easy to find the negative in situations, but there is so much to be thankful for. So let's make sure we start this Thursday Thoughts off and every day being thankful. So, everybody, we have my very special guest. I'm so honored to have her with us today, Miss Lekeisa Arrington, y'all. She is a life and executive leadership coach, and the name of her business is The Experience. And we're going to get into some questions. I've got some questions for my dear sister here because she has some things to share with us. And then later on, before we leave today, y'all, I'm going to be sharing her contact information because, as you know, my purpose with Priority You and our Thursday Thoughts is to be able to inspire, empower, and share great resources and tools that can help you maximize and live your best life, right? So I try to bring good people to you all to give you some food for thought. And that's what we have today. So I'm excited to jump in. And if you all have any questions, you can put the questions in the comments and I will give them to Miss Lekeisa. So let's get in started. First, to kick things off, can you share a little bit about your journey on how you came to be this life executive leadership coach and the experience? How did that come about?
I love this story, or I love that question because I believe, I am a faith-based life and executive leadership coach. So I honestly believe that everything we need is inside of us. At church, they always say everything you need is in the house. But listen, everything you need is inside of you. So I have been a licensed minister for about 18, 19 years. I have been in the HR arena for around 20 plus years. And the truth of the matter is, here's one unique feature that most people don't know about me. I'm also a fashion designer. So I started sewing at the age of 8. Okay. So fashion was always my passion, always my passion. And one day I remember mentoring some young girls. And as I was mentoring these young women, I went to work and I had to coach an exec. She was 40 something. And all of a sudden it clicked. Why am I having a conversation with a 17-year-old and a 40-year-old and their stories are the same? And I was thinking, what? Something is wrong with that. Like, what is really going on? Why is a 17-year-old and a 40-year-old having the same struggle? And one thing that I realized is that a lot of us, that little girl inside of us never healed. And if the little girl inside of us never heals, the little girl grows up to be a full-size adult that has never healed, right? With all of the broken parts. And because I love training and developing and mentoring youth as well as adults, one day I had a conversation with God and I said, Lord, I really want to learn how to connect my passion, which of course was fashion, with my purpose, which was empowerment. And the Experience by LA came to life. I started hosting conferences. I started writing books. I started assisting other people. And the more I dressed individuals, designing prom gowns and special occasion gowns and bridal gowns, I was pouring into these women. And I realized that I was creating an environment that not only were they feeling wonderful on the outside, but by the grace of God, I was empowering these women internally. And it made me honestly start connecting these women and helping them identify with the little girl that was inside of them. And once we healed that little girl, listen, honey, the rest is history. Like, we got this. We got this. So that's how it all started.
That is a beautiful story. I
Thank
see we
you.
have some more folks who's joined us. We have Shakala 5. We have the Lanisha Marie joined us. Another one of
Welcome.
our coaches. So we have some folks who are joining us. And I love that story. And it's so true. You can have a 17-year-old and you can have a 44-year-old, and the struggle can be the same because, to your point, everything that we have is in us. I
Mm-hmm.
totally agree with that because I'm a firm believer that God gives us everything we need. But the problem is we get too bogged down with the outside noise that we can't see
Yes.
it, we can't tap into it, or we hold on to so much pain because we're not taught how to heal.
Mhm.
We're not
Mhm.
taught how to address things that have hurt us in the past, because to your point, we have things that hurt us when we're children, and that's why caring
Mhm.
for your children at a young age and really paying attention and trying to get them help early is important. Because my generation growing up, it was suck it up, like get over it. It was no, well, we need to talk about it, get some therapy and start addressing some things. It was, suck it up, get over it. And then, so as the grown women, you just suppressed what that little girl was feeling. And so now you've
Mhm.
told yourself, by suppressing that, you know what, you don't matter. When you're
That's
upset, that
it.
doesn't matter. You're not
Mhm.
you're not worthy, you're not enough. And so
Right.
it spirals you down these different paths. So I'm with you on that one, sister. That is so true. So
Yes.
let's get into some more questions here. We have, tell me a little bit about your approach when it comes to women. How do can you elaborate a little bit on your philosophy and why you feel it's crucial to personal and professional fulfillment?
Oh my goodness. Here's the deal. If you are a hot mess personally, you are a hot mess professionally. Like it is just that simple. It is so simple, honey. If you are not together personally, you are not together professionally. We've seen, and let's keep it real. I am a girl empowerment rah rah chick all day. Okay, I mean, you could be a stranger, you could be my best girlfriend. I am cheering you on. However, I've seen some incredible women with degrees in high positions, and oh my gosh, they're a hot mess. The way they communicate, their mannerisms, some of the things, I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on? Why? Because we never slow down to figure out who we are,
Yep.
what we wanted, why we were placed on this planet. Like sometimes we're all over the place and we're wearing all these hats. And here's the deal: you can be a sister, because I'm from the DMV, okay, Maryland, DC, and Virginia. You could be a sister from Southeast. And because of that Southeast mentality, let's say, I'm trying to figure out the best way of saying it. Sometimes Southeast mentality is survival mode. When you take that same experience or that same survival mode through all of your years of education, you get into these wonderful degrees because, listen, we've had scholarships because we're intelligent individuals, right? One of my
Absolutely.
mottos is that we're brilliant, we're beautiful, and we're blessed. So we get all the way through college and we get these great degrees, but that Southeast mentality is still inside of us. So I believe that honestly, therapy is so important. Having a coach is so important. Having a group of sisters that are like-minded and that will check you honestly in love, right? I believe
Absolutely.
it's so important for us to blend our professional and our personal. Once we get our personal, in check, the professional is easy. But we there's some healing and some maturing, I believe, that has to work
Absolutely.
out for us.
Absolutely. I love how you said that if you're a hot mess in your personal life, you can be a hot mess in your professional life. I love how you said
Mm.
that, because I know people to also understand too that you can be a functioning hot mess.
Yes. Yes.
Because
Hmm.
understand, I've met some hot messes that had the title, y'all. They had the
Yes.
VP title, they had those high
Hmm.
ranking titles, but they were a mess, not just in their personal life, but they weren't where they should be. They would leave bodies by the side of the road, you
Yes.
know
Yes.
because let's face it, when you are a woman in corporate America or in male dominated fields and roles,
Hmm.
especially being a Black woman, there is a
Hmm.
duality that you deal with, because you deal with the stigma of being a Black woman in America. And then you have
Yes.
to also bring along How do you show up in the game of corporate America
Mm-hmm.
with the other
Mm-hmm.
folks, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes we carry, I think, um, the pain and the weight of what all that means, and carrying it. It's one thing to acknowledge it and understand it, but don't let it live your life for you, because you
Yes.
will get that negative thought in your head. They don't want me
Mm-hmm.
here, and your
Mm-hmm.
energy will push people away. It will close off opportunities because your belief system is they don't want me here. And
Mm-hmm.
people will pick up on that, and you would create a whole nother barrier. So I really love how you say it starts with the person. So I love that. I love that. It seems like there's so much that you and I do that are just so similar in what we do with our clients. But I love what you do. So you all, I'm going to give you her information so you can jot it down now, because she's got some great stuff for us. Now, the next question I want to go into is rediscovering identity. In your coaching,
Mm-hmm.
you did mention about tapping into that personal. Can you share maybe a transformation story that maybe stands out to you, where you really had to tap into that personal so that it could catapult them professionally?
Um, Out of all of the individuals that God has given me an opportunity to coach, there's always one person that I hold dear to my heart. And I hold this woman dear to my heart because when I first met her, actually, here's what's so phenomenal. Usually, a lot of my clients, I meet them because I created a piece for them to wear to a special occasion, which is always so cool. Nevertheless, when I met this woman, she looked so put together. She was gorgeous, um, just carried herself extremely well. And one day she said, Lekeisa, she overheard me communicating with someone in the field. And she said, Lekeisa, what do you do? And I paused for a moment. I said, let's talk. I broke it down, explained to her what I did. And she said, I want to work with you. I said, are you sure? So let me be. And this is what I tell everyone. Hear me when I tell you, I'm very clear. Your money means nothing to me if you are not going to do the work. Now, I'm going to be the first
Ooh.
one that says, guys, I still have a therapist. Although I talk to her maybe every quarter, I still have a therapist. And my
But I
therapist,
want you to stop right there, because you just got a whole
right?
segment. I want you to say that part again, sis. Say that part again. Let's rewind that back and say that again.
It's so serious. And I'm going to explain why I feel that way. Your money means nothing to me if you're not going to do the work. And this is why. This is a serious calling for me. It is a personal journey for me. I take what I do extremely serious. I'm that chick that believes that one can chase 1,000 and two can chase 10,000. So if you're going on a journey with me, that means we got work to do. We're about to get it started. We're about to change lives because other people are waiting on us. So if we are sitting here spending all this time together, making sure that giving you strategies and healing, doing everything we possibly can, and you just show up, what? Oh no, that means I'm missing an opportunity to help transform the life of someone else. My therapist always tries to tell me, well, Lekeisa, some plants, some that's great, amen, hallelujah, but right now we got work to do.
Work
The
to do.
pandemic taught us something. We don't have time to be playing games. Let's move. Okay. We have lives to change. We're not playing games.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. Let me focus. So
No,
this
hey, that's a
woman
whole word. I love that.
is so real. This wonderful woman came to me and it hurt me because who I saw her as outwardly, inwardly. And I'm gonna drop this nugget. Women constantly slay outwardly. From head to toe, honey, we fabulous. I mean, no one can compare to us. Sisters, come on. We slay from head to toe. I mean, we look the part nonstop, yet we are often being slain internally. So when I sat down and spoke to this woman, hear me when I tell you this woman was on fire outwardly. And when I sat down with her, I discovered she stopped dreaming. She didn't even believe in dreams anymore. She couldn't didn't understand her purpose. She lost her identity. Like the list goes on and on and on. And then later on, I discovered she had two masters. She was high up in the government. Like the list goes. I was like, what? How? Girl, let's get started, baby girl. Let's get started. So we started this journey. Hear me when I tell you, she went from not speaking at all in Zoom meetings or at the you at the desk and you're never opening your mouth, like you're one of the head leaders at the table and she never opened her mouth. We went from not opening our mouths to speaking fiercely. I mean, understanding that, honey, you have power in your voice, and when you speak, you better breathe fire because that's who you were created to be. So she started discovering who she was. Then she started discovering what she wanted. Then she started discovering why she wanted it. Then she started discovering the moments that she was grateful. And then, honey, she started discovering when am I, or and what impact am I going to make on this planet? She went from the quiet, uncertain individual to the firehouse that every time you see her now outwardly, her friends will call me up and say, I don't know what happened. Those 90 days, honey, what is going on? So, I'm real big on receipts. So girl, don't play with me. What is really going on? She started speaking. She bought a house. She started putting strategies together to allow her to build a home for women because she wanted to start building a home for teenagers. Honey, she started putting in the work. And she sent me a review one day. And her review said, it brought tears to my eyes. What is his name? Babyface has a song, and the song talks about being so beautiful. You're beautiful. I wish I knew the exact title, but it talks about the beauty of a woman. And she said, Lekeisa, I am so grateful today that now I know how beautiful I am. Now I know how valuable I am. Now I know who I was created to be, and now I'm going to get other sisters. Even now, it gives me chills. That
Yeah,
story stands out, Vanette, because I meet so many incredible women who somehow just forgot that they were created to do phenomenal things.
absolutely. And I have to say that story was so remarkable. I am so appreciative of you sharing that because
Amen.
there's so many women like that.
Yes.
It resonates. Like you say, we know how to show up, or we know how to show up on the outside, look like $1,000,000 on the outside, look like we got it all together, but on the inside we carry so much pain and so much
Mhm,
self-doubt and so much
mhm.
that it's that inner critic that we battle.
Yeah.
Because my testimony is I had that inner critic. I had those
Yeah.
things that I had to deal with, and people will never know because we know how to boss up and act confident in public. On
Hello.
the inside, we feeling some kind of other way. We feeling some kind
Mhm,
of other way, but
mhm,
we know how to do it. We've been taught how to act, right? We've been
mhm,
taught. But
mhm.
when you were able to really get to her inner self and to
Yes.
let her see who she was, the power in who you really are, when you tap into that and you can show up as yourself, you freed her. You blessed her and you freed her. And it's so many women that are out there who need that. So, y'all, I
Yes.
want y'all to know. Again, I'm gonna give you all Lekeisa's information because I want you all to tap into this, sis, to know that she has so much to offer you because it is so, so critical. It's so important. It's so important. It's so many women that's walking around. I call them the walking dead because they here
Mm,
and they not living.
mm,
They either live in somebody else's dream, somebody else's life, because they've not defined what they want, who they want to be.
mhm.
Sometimes they get so trapped in their past,
Yes.
they get trapped in it, but they don't reconcile with it. So when they're trapped there, they can't even appreciate the blessings of the present. They can't appreciate the gift that the new day brings from God.
Yes. Yes.
So the fact that you were able to touch that, sis, like that, Ooh, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all her information to you all because I know y'all want it. I know y'all want it. It's some good stuff. Now, the next question I have for you when it comes to talking about clarity, confidence, and courage. Clarity, confidence,
Mm.
courage. What role does that play in the journey as you work with your clients?
Okay, I'm gonna say it this way because I'm very visual. Um, I believe in teaching women how to be unstoppable and own their greatness. So we'll say this. Think of a house and we need a foundation. So at the bottom of the house, the foundation is clarity. And clarity, once again, is knowing who you are, whose you are, what you want, why you want it, right? When are you ever grateful? And why were you placed on this planet? I love when you said The Walking Dead. For me, just existing is death. The Bible teaches us that life and death is in the power of your tongue. Either you're going to live on purpose or you're going to exist and die. Just exist and die. Because if you're not here serving and doing specifically what you were called to do, baby girl, just like you said, you're the walking dead. So imagine the clarity as your foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're building this house, we have confidence and then we have courage. And the
Yes.
roof that seals it is you becoming unstoppable. Because the rooftop, when I know I'm unstoppable, come on. What is that song? Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Come on now.
Unstoppable means, honey, I can't be touched. I am confident in Christ. And it's not arrogance, it's confidence, knowing who you are. Yes, I'm unstoppable. The Bible says I could do exceedingly and abundantly. Listen, I'm the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. Girl, we could go to church, but that's not why we're here. At the end of the day, that roof right there seals it. You become unstoppable. So
Absolutely.
you have to be confident. You have to have courage. Confidence said, I know who I am and I know where I'm going. The courage says, baby girl, you better start taking them steps. The courage is the action it takes to start moving into position, right? Having a spirit of readiness. I know who I am. I know what I want. I'm confident enough to stand flat footed and say, this
Come
is
on.
mine. You can't touch me. And now here's the courage. The courage means, oh, I'm taking actionable steps. I'm using the
That
power of
part.
my voice.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
taking actions because we could talk a good game all
Come
day,
on.
but
Come
no,
on.
I see the goal and I'm going forward. I'm showing up, I'm speaking up, I'm standing up, I'm doing everything I need to do. And the roof, honey, that's you being unstoppable. I don't care what rain comes, I don't care what snow comes, I don't care what's coming. Nothing is getting past that rooftop. And
That's
we all
right.
know every now and then the roof needs to be touched up. Honey, that just means you need reinforcements. Take a break, get a coach, okay? Get a mentor. That just means you need a break. Patch up those areas and keep moving. Honey, listen, we got things to do. We have
I
things
love
to
it.
do.
I love it. I love it. Girl, I'm gonna have to get you back on here again because I'm
Uh-uh.
like, listen, listen. This is I
I am
love.
having fun with you, Vanette.
Let me tell you, Lekeisa, I love it. I love your purpose. I love your mission. You know, because the clarity. Oh my, it's huge. Like y'all, she's dropping gems, and I hope y'all taking notes because if you don't know what you want,
That's
you
it.
can't
Come on.
get it. You can't see it, right? You're blind to what it is you already have in front of you. It's like God, we stated this earlier in the beginning, everything we need is inside of us. But if you lack clarity, clarity is your vision. If you can't
Mhm,
see it, it
mhm,
doesn't exist. And your
mhm.
mind can't receive it, and your heart can't receive it, and you can't manifest it, even though it's sitting inside you. So when Lekeisa talked about the clarity being the foundation, baby, when you walk around here and you don't understand who you are and whose you are, listen, you will fall prey because I was
Mhm,
that girl when I was younger. You will fall prey to some foolery. Do you hear me?
mhm,
You will fall
mhm.
prey to some unacceptable behaviors. You will fall prey to not living up to who you are. and feeling
That's it.
good, looking in the mirror. Like when Shirley Ralph says, the one thing you need to be able to do is look in that mirror and love who you see, like and love who you see, baby. That's a whole word. And then I love what Lekeisa said when she said, the courage is to put one foot in front of the other to take action. Because
Mm-hmm.
we all start the year with a vision board, right? We
Right.
all start
Right.
the year saying what we want to do. But if you don't have the courage to do it, the discipline to do it, that's where the coach comes in. That's where reaching
Mm-hmm.
out to Lekeisa comes in. Because if you need a coach to help you build that muscle of resilience, to
Mm.
build the muscle of, you know what, I need to let go of that procrastination demon. How many
Come
of y'all
on.
have that procrastination demon?
Come on.
Because I can tell y'all, when I was younger, sis used to have the procrastination demon, especially when it came to trying to get the body right for the summer. Because I would say in January, oh, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna be ready by the summer, procrastinate, and then my feelings hurt when May roll around and I'm peeling up out these sweaters looking like
Mm-hmm.
a Pillsbury Dough girl. But so I had to get, it's just the truth, Lekeisa, look a little fluffy. I was fluffy on the side. But when you got the sweaters on, girl, you could cover that thing up.
Hello. Right.
So we got to get rid of that procrastination demon, y'all. And you do that by understanding no matter what your station in life, no matter how old you are, how young you are, you can do it. But you have to make up in your mind, and you need somebody to help hold you accountable. But you have to be ready to move your life.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Mm-hmm.
be ready. And then you have to say to yourself, if I'm not happy, and this is why God is so good. If I'm not happy with where I am, that's God nudging you, letting you know you haven't even tapped into why I put you here, baby. You haven't
Come
even
on.
tapped into why I put you here. That's why you're feeling uneasy. That's why you're not happy. That's why things aren't working out. Because he's got another door. But if you're not listening to him and you're not tapping in and asking the questions to yourself, what do I want? What makes me happy?
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to keep up with the Joneses, right?
Right.
Some of us want to keep up. The crazy thing is, and I'm going to get back with this interview, but the crazy thing is some of us are pursuing material things that we really don't even value, but we're trying to keep up with the appearances of the Joneses. So we're moving and getting all these things, but we don't have that inner happiness or peace. It's a
Come
bunch of
on.
people with money that's miserable.
Yes.
Miserable.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
when you travel the world and you go to some of these beautiful Caribbean islands and you see the people, they have much less material things, but they are filled with joy. I take that joy all day. You hear me?
All
I take
day.
that joy all day.
All day. All day. All day. But now I want to piggyback off of something that you had. I mean, something that you said, and you said that we are consumers, right? And we consume all these things, all the shoes and the fancy purses and the big old houses. Like, we have all these things. And yes, we have seen multi-billionaires that commit suicide. Suicide is a huge thing for me. Unfortunately, my father committed suicide. Deacon of the church, saved, sanctified. His wife was a doctor. She had a doctorate in theology. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And one day, he could not figure out the answers. He thought he was by himself, and he felt as if that was his only choice. Mm-hmm. The truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, if you decide to jump on this show, we are perfectionists, right? We need to, in our minds, we need to cross every T and dot every I. Perfectionism is a form of procrastination. Procrastination is self-sabotage. It is the trick of the enemy to make you think that you got to cross every T, dot every I, look a certain way, act a certain way, speak a certain way. God created you to be a unique individual, period.
Absolutely.
The person that you compete with every single day is you of yesterday. When you have to sit in that mirror and say who you are, mirror talk is so vital. Woo. And what people don't understand, suicide is a real thing. Depression is a real thing. Anxiety is a real thing. Even pastors commit suicide. Why? Because the enemy's job is to kill, steal, and destroy. He makes you feel like you not nothing. Your mama ain't nothing. You ain't never going to be nothing. Your sister and brother's not nothing. Hear me when I tell you, it is a lie. a lie from the pit of hell. And either you're
Absolutely.
going to stand strong and know who you are and whose you are, or you just going to sit back and let people continue to walk over you. But I believe with everything inside of me that
Mm-hmm.
all of us were created to do extraordinary things. This is
Yeah.
what I always tell individuals, and this is the real thing. And hopefully this touches hearts. Every last one of us have to leave this earth. And when we leave the earth and we go before our Lord and Savior, I believe in Jesus Christos. I'm not quite sure what everyone else believes in, but I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. So when you leave this planet and you
Mm-hmm.
have to sit to him, I mean, go before him, and he's like, "Hey, Vanette, girl. Hey, guys, how you doing? I am so happy to see you." Like, in my mind, I think God has all my energy because, hello, I'm shaped in his image. So So you get to the pearly gates and you're telling him, how happy how happy you are to be there, and you're telling him all these amazing things that you've done, right? And he's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. Yes, I saw it. Yes, you made the millions. Yes, I seen you do all these incredible things." And he says, "Okay, great. But what did you do with what I called you to do?" And you're like, "I'm sorry. Did you not hear me? I had the Bentley, I had the Gucci, I had, like, you going down your list, right? Oh, and I had this position. I did. Oh, that's great. I'm so proud of you." Okay, once again, what did you do with what I called you to do? Because each of us have been called to do something phenomenal on this planet. What did you do with what I called you to do?
Absolutely.
Can you answer that question today? If not, it's time to get busy. I'm just saying, it's time to get busy.
Now I see who's joined us on Instagram. We have D is in the house, Gwenny Beer is in the
Hey,
house. So we got more folks joining us. And we have on Facebook, I think is it Carissa? Carissa, who's joined us on Facebook. So I want to give shout outs to y'all who's joining
hey
us.
guys.
We are loving Lekeisa. And when you were talking and you were talking about, one day we all have to die, right?
Yeah.
There's an activity that I give some of my clients
Uh-huh.
to help them get some perspective. And it's like,
Uh-huh.
if you close your eyes, I want you just to imagine that you're now like 90 years old. You're like 89, 90.
Mm.
And I want you to open your eyes. And right now, I want you to look back over your life. Did you live your life? If this
Mm.
is your life, did you live your life according to your purpose and your values? Do you feel like, you know what? I did that and I have
Mm.
no regrets. I have lived my life. Or do you have regrets? Because while you still have breath and while we are where we are, this is where you make the choice. This is where you
Yes.
decide that you're going to commit to yourself. And oftentimes we don't have healthy relationships with nobody else because we can't even commit to our own self. So how somebody else going to commit to you when you can't even commit and love yourself?
Mm-hmm.
When we misuse our bodies, that's not loving ourselves.
That's it.
That's not
That's
loving
it.
ourselves. When we set ourselves up and disappoint ourselves and we're okay with it. We said we want this goal, but we don't do nothing to get it. We wake up and we say, you know what? I just didn't feel like it.
Okay.
It's like we misuse the gifts and the blessings that God has given us because today somebody couldn't get out the bed and say, you know what? I wish I could go work out, but I can't even get out the bed.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's so many things that we take for granted, and we have to find the time to be grateful and to get the clarity that Lekeisa talked about so we can live the life we're supposed to live.
Yes.
So we can heal and love that inner child, like Lekeisa mentioned before, the little child that remains in us that we maybe haven't even reconciled with her pain. And when we don't
Yes.
heal that pain, she's still there. She's still that
Mm-hmm.
age that she was when she was hurt. She's still there. And
Mhm.
she's like, you got to deal with me because I ain't going nowhere. Like,
Mhm.
hear me out because nobody else heard me. So I'm just loving this. There are just so many gems. I'm so appreciative with Lekeisa being with us. So now let's get into, can you give us any examples of um, some solutions that you may have provided to a client to help them leave an unforgettable footprint? Like, how do they find their purpose?
So, I have this life hack that I love to give people, and people, this is how I feel. People often say, "Oh, you met me. Can you tell me what's my purpose?" No. Like, I don't know who, I'm not quite sure who started this. That if you meet someone, you can sit around and you can say, "Oh, because I've seen you do this, girl. This is your it doesn't work like that. Like, I've never seen it work like that. This is my personal opinion. If it's working like that for you, then all right. But I've never seen it work like that, right? Because your
Right.
purpose is so personal, right? It's personal. Literally, God says, before I knew you, I formed you. So he specifically gave you an assignment. So this is a life hack that I always share with my clients. I need them to write 20 things. I always say, write 20 things. Every single thing you're passionate about, put it on paper. But I don't know. Yes, you do. Everything about you, write it. 20 things, okay? Write it all down. Everything that makes you excited, the things that keep you up at night, the things that you used to want, and now you lost the whatever it is. I just need you to write it down. Just write down 20 things. So then we do a process for elimination. We go from 20 to 10 to 5 to 3. When we get to the 3 things, we start researching, we start reading books, we start watching video games. We literally start putting in the work to say, oh my goodness, that is me. Like, you literally have to put in the work. And here's what's crazy. I force them, and it's sometimes hard to write out 20 because you don't think that much is inside of you, but you're so passionate about so much. Like, there literally is a connection between your passion and your purpose. It's connected to biblical promises. And I promise you, it leads to prosperity in every area of your life. Once again, you just have to do the work. When it
That
comes to strategic solutions, because everyone has a different desire, right? Everyone has a different dream.
mm-hmm.
Everyone has a different desire in their belly. So honestly, I identify where they want to go. We talk about who that little girl was, and I'll give you an example. At the age of 8, I wanted to be a fashion designer. I cannot shake it. I don't know why. I just always loved fashion. There was a neighbor that lived upstairs from me. This is how serious this is. Remember 8, okay? I am 50 plus now. I used to go upstairs. Her name is Miss Maxine. I used to go upstairs to Miss Maxine. Miss Maxine was a seamstress. Her son took karate classes. Her son taught the kids in the neighborhood karate. Miss Maxine taught me how to sew. She would give me all her scraps, and I would be up in the middle of the night measuring my little self. Remember, I'm 8, so imagine how tiny I am. I am measuring my little self with markers, taking scissors, and at that time, your hands sewing, and I'm taking out belts, trying to sew all these items up. And because I can't sleep, I'm knocking on my parents' door, and they like, little girl, do you know what time it is? Because I'm so excited at this stage, okay? So they invested in me, and they gave me draft books, and they gave me all these things like, this is who she is today. Let her do what she needs to do. And at the same time, that 8-year-old little girl had this desire to connect people, okay? So I will go throughout the neighborhood, and I will always collect 25 cents. Once again, I lived in Southeast. At our corner, faithfully every day was an ice cream truck. Okay. So I would collect 25 cents from all the kids in the neighborhood, and I would run to the ice cream truck, and I would buy all this candy. I know y'all remember lemon heads and
Come
Johnny
on now.
Appleseed,
Come
all
on.
of that.
Don't,
Yeah.
don't forget
So
the
I would
lemon cookies. Don't forget the lemon cookies. Come on now.
that 1 cent, that penny candy. Come on. So So I would collect all these goodies out of after I collected all the quarters, and I would go back to my house and I would prepare all these snacks, and then I would give everyone a time to show up so we can watch movie times. What were they called? The movie projectors where you had to drop the CD in and use your hand to slide the
Oh, I
movie.
know what you're talking about because it was red and
Yeah,
oh
but that I cannot make this up. I'm so serious. So I will often have all these events at my house. I had lemonade stands. I had cookie stands. You name it, I did it. Okay. And hear me because I'm going somewhere. So there's that little girl gathering people, building community, making sure that we're all on the same page at the age of 8. At the same time, it bothered me to see females argue and fight.
my.
So here I am at a very young age. I need to figure out why y'all fighting. I want to talk about it. I want to be in the middle. I want to help. But that, it sounds cute and all, but let me explain something. I'm gonna say this one more again. I lived in Southeast. In Southeast, it's not wise to break up fights. I'm just saying, because you're going down. What I experienced, a few times that the girls stopped fighting each other and then they wanted to fight me because why are you in our business? What's going on? Okay. But that little girl wanted to help. She wanted to empower people. She wanted to encourage people. She wanted to build community. She wanted to sew. Well, by the grace of God, that little girl that was 8, today is 50 plus. She is a fashion designer. She does design clothes from women from all stages of life. She is a life and executive leadership coach. She grew up to build communities. She grew up to host conferences. She's written several books by the grace of God. When I talk about strategies, I'm literally talking about tapping into the little girl and the desires and the dreams, the passion that you had when you were little, and identifying those things. Then honestly putting strategic solutions together. What path should we take? Let's start communicating. Let's start building relationships with other people. Let's start partnering with other people. Let's start doing research. I show them how to go after grants. Whatever it is, I help you, number one, remind yourself that you can do it. But number two, we literally start taking steps to build your dream. Yes. And everyone, of course, has a different dream. They have a different desire. But we start with the basics, remembering what our purpose was, tapping into that little girl, and then we run.
I love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, tell us, when we talk about, and you did touch on it earlier, talking about how important it is that when you talk about women in executive roles, how important it is to make sure that they're together from the personal perspective. So when you're coaching your executive leaders, your women in executive roles, do you ever get any pushback with the personal piece?
Yes. So, but here's what's interesting. I've had the opportunity to coach a lot of Caucasian men. Okay. I like to call them my peach friends. I coined that phrase from one of my friends. In addition to, of course, African Americans, just a mixed blend of individuals. And one thing that I always teach them, first and foremost, I realize that sometimes we get all these degrees and we instantly think we can lead. It doesn't work that way. You have all this knowledge, which is excellent. But one thing that I teach them is, first and foremost, let's not make it that deep. Let's be practical. A leader is responsible for leading the others in the ship. That's number one. Number two, leaders have to maximize relationships. So when my Southeast sister comes through the door and you have always been in survival mode, and when you lead your team, you are literally cursing at your team, being disrespectful to your team, yelling at your team, you are not maximizing relationship. Mm-hmm. I teach executives that it is possible to build teams based on commitment and not compliance. But it starts with maximizing relationships. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then I teach them the importance of building trust. People have to trust you. If you are leading others in a ship, you need to know if they're comfortable. You need to know who they are. You need to understand their family. You need to understand how they work. You need to honestly be able to relate to them, because you may not have come from where they come from, but you have an opportunity to relate to where they're going, because at the end of the day, everyone has a goal, right? Within this organization, you want to make this organization successful. And then the last thing is strategic solutions. What does that look like? Training, developing, coaching, understanding the importance of corrective action. We always want to fire people, but we never ever take time out to train them and develop them. Or we have individuals that run amok and we never take time out to manage performance. So at the end of the day, we start with maximizing relationships, building trust, and then putting together strategies that works for your organization in order to once again build teams based on commitment and not just compliance.
Yes, I love that. We had a comment out there, and um one of our viewers said that she wanted to be a lawyer, but she felt like it's too late because she was 50. I'm here to say it's never too late. I had a
Never.
professor in college. He told me he had 3 careers, and this man at that time, he was like maybe 70.
Mm.
He said he became an accountant. I want to say he became an accountant in his 50s.
Mm.
So it's never too late. Don't let that
Honey,
inner critic tell you it's too late. See, it's
come
never
on.
too late. It's never
Never.
too late.
Never. I'm with you.
She didn't hit stardom until she was in her 40s. That's when she started with What Love Got to Do with, and showing them long legs, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tina had them legs, and she was showing them legs starting at 40. She became the queen of rock and roll in her 50s.
Come on.
It is not too late. Society will have you think, because as women, there's such a stigma around when you get into the 50s and beyond, that they almost make you feel like, well, you should go sit down somewhere. You need to go get that moo out. How many of y'all remember the moo? When the mamas used to wear the moo in the 70s, y'all know what them snaps, it used to snap all the way down in the front, didn't it? Let me tell you, that ain't what 50 plus doing right now, because you're not going to catch me in no moo, y'all. You're not going to catch me in no moo. So the devil is a lie. It's not too late. Whatever you want to do, as long as you have breath, God is telling you, guess what? Today is a new day to go for what it is you want. Don't let anybody do that for you. Go for what you want.
But now I love what you said. There are some examples. There's a woman from the Johnny Cochran firm. She started out as a nurse. She did that for almost 20 plus years. And then she transitioned to become a lawyer, and she worked for Johnny Cochran's firm once he passed away. And I promise you, she got to be almost 60. But during that time between 40 and 50, she was like, oh, nah, this is not what I'm called to do. When we think of Colonel Sanders actually started KFC. He was 60 something. When we think of Walt Disney, when we think of Vera Wang, oh my gosh, because I'm a fashion designer, I love Vera Wang. Vera Wang did not become who she was until she was 40 something. Age is nothing. Purpose is everything.
Everything. And that's why when people say, what does a coach do? This is what coaches do. A coach would tell you, a coach is like a mirror that helps you see yourself. They're not going to tell you what to do, but they're going to help you find the answer in you. Because it's just like that old saying, and I'm paraphrasing, but you know how they say you could take a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink?
Yes, ma'am.
Or if you feed somebody, I can cook you a plate of food, but if I teach you how to catch and prepare your own food, you can eat for more than one day. You can eat the rest of your life, right? So that's what a coach does. A coach helps you shift your perspective, shift your mindset, unlock, and help you find who you are. Because Lekeisa said something that is so critical. We can't give you your purpose, but we can help you get to your clarity.
Yes.
And that's what we need. We have to be able to get people that can chip away those layers, peel back those layers that we've built up over time, layers from life experiences, layers from disappointment, layers from, regrets. And sometimes we fall into a loop. We become a hamster on a wheel where we're feeding ourselves the same thing, where we say, well, this is just how my life is. This is just,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
This is just not how your life is. Your life can be whatever you make it, but if you can't see it, you can't be it.
Come on. Come on. I love it. Yes.
It was a young man on Instagram, and he said he had this beautiful poem he was reading, and he said he had heard it from somebody else. And I'm just going to give you the snippet. One snippet was, he said, some people live as if they'll never die.
Mm.
Meaning they think they have all the time in the world, and they put off
Yes.
stuff and they put off stuff. They are all the time in the world. And then he closed it and said, and some people die as if they never lived.
That's
Baby,
it.
that thing touched me right there. Because how many of us out there are living, and if we died, we would not have lived the life we were supposed to have lived. And
Come
there is
on.
absolutely no one to blame but the
But
person in the
ourselves.
mirror. That's it.
Yes.
We have to
Yes.
stop. It's so easy to want to put our accountability for our lives on somebody else when God is giving you guides. He's giving
Mm-hmm.
you a Lekeisha. He giving you a Vanette. He's giving you guides that's being put in front of you to help you get to where you need to be. But you're not putting value in it. But you're gonna put value in them Gucci purses, them Louis Vuittons. You're gonna put value on going to see Usher, and folks that's tickets might be a couple $100, thousands of dollars, right? You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
take that vacation, and we all need vacations, but I'm just saying,
Yes.
you may be taking a vacation that might cost you 5 or 6 thousand. That vacation may be only for 5 days. You're gonna enjoy yourself, but what are you doing to invest in yourself to get you the life you want? We done spent, I ain't gonna get into student loans, but we done spent some money on student loans, right? We done spent some money on student loans, and it gives you education and help you get in the door in most instances, right? But how many of y'all done spent money on student loans, but it never told you how to be yourself? It never gave
Mm-hmm.
you clarity. And you done spent a
Mm-hmm.
good 50, 60, 80,000. But after all that, it never told you how to deal with disappointment. It never told you how to tap into who you are as a person. It never told you how to figure out what's your purpose so you can pursue it. It never told you how to get confidence and clarity. It never told you how to commit to yourself, how to show up for
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
So when you are seeking a better life, you need to get a guide. And that's the purpose. And that's why I'm so thankful Lekeisa is here with us today. Because she's
Vanette, can we give I'm sorry, Vanette, can we give that young lady a strategy? The young lady who said that she wanted to go back to school. Before I give her the strategy, Vanette, I want to piggyback off what you said about a coach. Michael Jordan had a coach. Kobe Bryant had a coach. I could go on and on. Here's what's so fabulous about their coaches. Everything Michael Jordan needed was inside of him. Like, he was already amazing, right? But his coach saw something in him that Mike didn't even know existed. And he pushed him to become better. If this young lady honestly wants to go back to school, what I need for her to do is go up to the school that she wants to register at, find out specifically whatever school she wants to attend, find out specifically what programs they have that allow her experience to count as credits. That's number one. Find out what type of experience she has. Not quite sure if she's a senior yet. Find out, do they have programs that make sure experience makes a difference, age makes a difference, and figure out what does she need to do, how long it's going to take her to get what she needs to take, figure out a track, and start making moves. I
and the
hear what you're
other
saying.
thing,
I want to. Yes, ma'am.
and the other thing I want to point out, because she's talking about becoming a lawyer, is that again, it's never too late. I love what
Yes.
Lekeisa said, because they have all types of where you get life credits that can be
Yes.
accredited
Yes.
towards your degree, and you never know what blessing. If you want to go into
Yes.
law, right? You could end up in a career in law while you're still in school pursuing. So God can
Come
bless
on.
you. So while you're in school, you can get a job in a law office. And so you're getting your fulfillment, you're living your dream and still pursuing to accomplish what you need to get from an education perspective. So there are
Yes.
ways, but when you say I'm too old, I'm not going to do it, it's not like you go to school and there's nothing in between that dash from the time you start school up until you get that, you pass that bar. There is
Yes,
a lot
ma'am.
in between that you will get exposure to that can open up new doors. So I want you to stay motivated and encouraged.
Yes.
Motivated and encouraged. And I love what Lekeisa said when she said, giving you all those helpful tips about investigating schools you want to go to. Start doing the research, because when you take
Yes.
that step, God will open doors. And low key, y'all, the doors is already open. He's waiting on you
Mhm.
because it's already there. But when you don't tap into it, you don't have that clarity, you can't even see it. You can't even see it. Y'all, this
Love
is
it,
so
Vanette.
fun.
Love it.
Listen, this is so fun. I am loving Lekeisa, y'all. I'm just loving her. So I just want to ask you this for aspiring leaders. When we talk about aspiring leaders, what advice would you give women who want to start their leadership journey?
You are a leader. You were born a leader. A leader is not about the title. A leader is about the actions.
That
A leader is about the person who physically leads other people in a ship. You could be a leader in your household. You could be a leader in your community. You could be a leader at your children's school. You could be a leader on a job. If you have made up in your mind that people are following me, I have what it takes to make a difference. I have power in my voice. I have passion. I have purpose. I want to see difference. I want to see a change. I want to make a difference. I want to see a change. Baby girl, you are leading. Lead the way. It doesn't matter, once again, your title. You don't have to be the team leader, the executive, like the list goes on the VI, the VP, the list goes on and on. You were created a leader. So lead. What's important to you? What situations in the world wake you up at night? What's
mm,
happening at your children's school? What's happening in your community? What's
yes,
going on in your church?
absolutely,
Lead.
absolutely.
Start giving your opinion. Start coming up with, come on, solutions. There are so many problems that exist on this planet. Leaders are individuals that are the solutions to other people's problems.
Absolutely.
Start
I
with
love that.
self-examination.
I love that. And I hope you all really heard when Lekeisa said leadership is not about the title that you have.
Yes.
It's about your character and your behavior. It's how you show up.
Yes.
Because how many of y'all know in the office in corporate America, you always know it's an admin that carry more
Mhm.
weight than the VPs and the CEOs they work for. If you want something
Come
done,
on.
let me tell you, when I am in corporate America, I am friends with everybody from the janitor up
That's
into
it.
the other person, and they all get the same level of respect. You know why? Because you have a leader understands something that Lekeisa said. Relationships are huge.
Mhm.
It requires you to have some emotional intelligence. You
Yes.
have to know self, and you have to
Yes.
be able to pick up on other people's stuff too,
Come
right?
on.
So
Yes. Self-awareness.
when you have that kind of enlightenment, you're powerful.
Mhm.
Because number one, you're gonna realize, guess what? If you come across somebody that may be, off a little bit when it comes to their behavior, you can look at them and guess what? The first thing you're gonna do is not take it personal. You're gonna be like, okay, that person, I can see that person is having an issue. They having a day. And maybe they've experienced something that they can't handle. And so
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to take that personal. But being a leader is you start behaving the way you think a leader should behave. You carry
Yes.
yourself the way you think a leader should behave. Because if my team comes to me and they have a problem, the first thing I do is ask them, what should we do about it? I want you to start thinking about what should you do about it. And this
Yes.
mentality of, well, that's not my job. You need to ball that up and throw that out the window, baby. Because when you become a leader, you become a coach, you become a trainer, you become a cheerleader, you become the parent. Because sometimes
Yes.
you have to kind
Yes.
of correct. You become a parent.
Yes.
You know, you have to become all these things to different people at different times. So
Yes.
So
Yes.
I love that. I love that. And when it comes to future goals, looking ahead, what are some of the things that you look forward to the experience by LA? What are some things that you plan or something that you might have coming up that people can reach out to you? And while Lekeisa is going to tell us that, you guys, I'm going to put her information on the screen. So if you have a pen and paper, please write it down. It should be coming across the screen, so I hope you all are able to see it. We have her email, we have her websites, and we have her Instagram handles. Okay, Lakeisha, take it away.
Vanessa, I love that because I teach a course on exponential dreaming, right? I am a dreamer. Like I'm so big on Martin Luther had a dream. Vera Wang had a dream. Walt Disney had a dream. Biggie Small had a dream. It was all a dream. So I'm always dreaming, right? And at this particular time, the experience by LA is preparing for retreats. We are preparing for more books that are coming out. We're preparing for more workshops and courses. Like there's so much that I want to do because at the end of the day, if I'm setting the example, I'm empowering someone else, I'm inspiring someone else, I'm bringing some girlfriends with me, right? Because we're stronger together. There's so much more we want to do. My goal is to honestly impact 1,000 women per year. So that's this year, okay? Next year, I'm like, all right, look, can we get to 5,000? Can we get to 10,000? At the end of the day, we have retreats coming up. We have conferences coming up. We have more courses coming up. And if I can teach these women how to dream exponentially, come on, can you imagine how we are going to set this planet on fire?
Fire.
Honestly,
Yeah.
handling the desires of your heart, living out the desires of your heart.
Now, listen, when you get the dates on some of those things, I want you to come back on, and because I want to share it on this platform so we can give women
Excellent.
exposure to that. Because
Excellent.
I also do a monthly newsletter. So you and I will stay in touch, because when you have something, then I want to also open that up to my community for those who, I believe in putting it out there for everybody.
Very good.
Out there for everybody. So I'm excited to hear that. And I know it's going to be wonderful. I know we can expect great things, and I'm so excited. Now, to our viewers or folks that might be, with us, still hanging in there with us on this Thursday Thoughts, tell us in the comments, what is something that you take away from tonight? We want to know
Oh,
what
very
is
good.
something that you can take away from tonight, because Miss Lekeisa done dropped some gems, y'all. She done dropped some gems, and yeah, I hope y'all was picking up what she was putting down, because she was putting down some gems. I know I got a lot, and it was such a pleasure, talking to Lekeisa and having her on here, because it just so resonates with the customers that I help. So y'all,
Oh, excellent. Excellent. It was such a pleasure, Vanessa. Listen, I love like-mindedness, okay? So when two
yes,
sisters come together to talk about how to make other women better, come on, I'm here for it all day, all day.
yes, yes. So we have, let me see. So some of the comments, they were like, preach. They was like, yes, yes. Um, We had one comment that's from Dr. Tam, which says, regardless of the hats you wear on top, your core inside,
Mm,
your core inside is one and the same.
mm.
We had folks that were saying, wow, absolutely, that part. Um, so we had some really, really good engagement. Great job, ladies. Thank you so much. Live your dreams. Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes. And so somebody said, can you do a quick review? Okay. So for this episode, we're going to recap what we talked about. Coach Lekeisa came on. She is the owner of the Experience by LA. We have her information going on at the bottom. We have her website. We have both her handles for Instagram, and we have her email. So I want you all to definitely write that down. She is a leadership, life, and executive coach. And she just really is giving us some gems. I'm going to hand it off to Lekeisa so she can share with y'all, summarize a few of the gems she talked about today, and leave you all with some parting words. Lekeisa?
I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to leave you with this first. You deserve nothing less than God's best for you in every area of your life. If you are currently in a situation, in a relationship, at a job, in an environment, I need you to ask yourself, is this the best that God has for me? If the answer is no, it is time to bust a move. It is time to rediscover your identity. It is time to gain the clarity, the confidence, and the courage in order to own your greatness and become unstoppable. It is honestly time to start putting strategic solutions in place so you can exit stage left. Everything you need is inside of you right now. It's up to you. It is up to you. The power of now, no opportunities wasted. So if you can hear everything that we're saying today, I want you to make up in your mind, I will no longer waste opportunities. I'm going after the desires of my heart. Those are
Yes.
the desires that God placed in your heart. I love it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Also, everybody, I want to say this Sunday we have a workshop coming up. It is Balance Bliss.
Mm,
When there is an
I
imbalance in
love
your
it.
life, you may find that you're feeling overwhelmed, you're
Mm,
stressed, you may find that you're withdrawn. There's a whole lot of things that's going on that we often ignore the signs. So we want you to join us this Sunday. Click the link in my bio. We're having a masterclass, Balance Bliss. We're going to get into the signs and symptoms when there's an imbalance. We're going to identify the root
mm,
cause. We're going to bring it home with understanding which one of these resonates with you. What are you experiencing? And then we're going to give you 4 strategies on how you can get balance and harmony in your everyday life. It's going to be 60
mm.
packed full of good, harmonizing, balance, blessing information. Click the link, y'all. It's going to start at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 60 minutes. You want to join us. In closing, again, I am so honored and just love the fact that
Thank
my
you.
coach came and she just dropped so many gems, so appreciative. As with every time we come together, y'all, I try to give you all a book. Today, the book is by Deborah M. Coty, and it is Too Blessed to Be Stressed, y'all. Let's see how can you get that. There we go.
Yes.
Stressed. And this is a good book. It's good reads. It has something every day to kind of lift you up and to let you know that we are indeed too blessed to be stressed. And what
Mm,
doesn't mean that you won't have stress in your life, but you can learn how to manage that stress, right? And so that's
love
just
it.
to help with that. So with that, everyone, I really want to thank you all. You have Lekeisa's information. Um, you can find this in replay. I'll repost this because when you stream live, it kind of goes away and then I'll repost it. If you go to Facebook, Facebook we'll keep it out there so you can see it in replay on Facebook as well as the YouTube channel. So with that, everybody have a wonderful and a blessed evening. Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much, Lekeisa, for being here. You were phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so very much.
All right. Have a good night.